You know what time it is. Your favorite rapper's time, your favorite movie star's time, your favorites time. Let me get into this. Now, I remember I told somebody in the comments that I was going to talk about a few more things. And as I said, is as we do. Now, here's my thing. Yesterday, I already mentioned another inconsistency that I saw, and I reiterated it. Now, let's get to another one. What's up about the information that I'm hearing about an alleged ex-friend and an ex-woman that was not in relations but had affiliations with X that could potentially have had something to do with it? Now, here's the thing. Here's the toss-up. Here's where the confusion starts. It could possibly even be somebody I've already spoken about that had some type of relations and played it off, or it could be someone new. But let's think about this. There were multiple women that came out and said that they were pregnant at some sort of time or was around him at some sort of time after his deceased nature. Why did they wait until that time to speak out? Well, we can say it was for clout, but who was telling the truth and who wasn't? I think this is a very strong piece of information. The same way many people came out and said they did it, but some of them didn't do it. Was this clout reasons? Or was there something deeper? Were they going to put themselves out there publicly to say, oh yeah, I got his baby such and such, to show that they had relations, to cover up a certain situation? Now, we don't know who all these girls were. We don't even know all their names because everyone got so quiet. Very funny. Very funny. Why get so quiet? But ultimately, you're suspicious. Nonetheless, it doesn't change what we're looking at. That's part of my problem. Everybody's so loud, so yelling stuff out, trying to be credible, show themselves, until information actually starts coming out and we start examining what people are saying as potential truth. Really? See, that's what happens. And I want to let y'all know, support the channel, donate, and do everything. They've been messing with me doing my lives. They've been messing with me doing different things. I don't know why. Maybe YouTube, you want to explain to them why. But here's the thing. I can start screenshotting or recording the recording to show them what's happening. Now, let's get into it. What's up with the ex-friend? What's up with the ex that was hiding in the background that may have been in the far past, stepping up like they're credibly someone or there's someone of influence around him in the situation? We never saw y'all until something bad happened, which really in my heart makes me think you have something suspicious about you. Now, a normal investigator wouldn't have looked at it. They would have just been looking for men that did it. Randomly, let's say, for a reasoning, the black men that did it. Whatever they want to say. But ultimately, I see y'all. I sat back quiet watching it. What did y'all have to do with it that you may not be telling now? Let's ask this. Is there someone that did have affiliation that's being quiet, did mess with them, or is there some woman that felt some type of way because they got chose over? Now, I have particular information looking at that. But before I reveal it, I want to see your full surface character. And I have a particular person I'm looking at. But before I do that, I want to see your full surface character. Let's be real. If you really cared, you would be up speaking about it from the jump. But it seems like certain people rushed up to speak a certain narrative that we begin questioning and showing as fake. Let's talk about the ex-friend. What ex-friend or friend that had some gripe had potential to gain off the situation? Let me ask this. Have we publicly seen them gain without knowing it? Have they gained and gloated it and showed something? Who would it be? Why would someone... I have a question. Did they say the beef was over, but they lied? Is that true? They said that everything's good, but they weren't telling the truth. Now, don't think about where it was said. Think about who fits the persona. Think. This is not a telltale game where everything's handed to you. This is a thinking game. A man's thinking game. Where we see you and we understand, but we ain't going to just jump at what you say. Oh, it's you. Even if I'm going to presume someone did add truth to what they say and may have had something behind the scenes, how did it go through? Well, I told y'all from the jump, I've developed a couple of theories in many different ways. But before I get to the theories, I need to get your thinking right. So tell me this. Does the X, does that word come with contention or some type of tension in the situation? Was there some level of disrespect or hatred towards an entity that developed throughout someone's tenure? Did someone use their jealousy as anguish and hatred? Now, I will say this. I did yesterday speak on an artist that was taking money and not doing the features, but I also read the conversation. Now, here's the problem. I get both points of view. It was how they addressed it when it didn't happen. There was a more professional way to address it. I will agree with that. But also on another note, I fully understand where you're coming from. So this is dead even at a spot. My thing is, if you did it right and your receipts are legit, depending on the amount of money, you could go through and try and get money back. It's up to you. But I do see why they reacted how they reacted because of the things that was said to them. I do want to note that. For whoever thinks I'm talking about them, I see what you mean, okay? Without you saying nothing, I understand. I read it from top to bottom. I get it. But at the same time, this is how you create legacies. By working with people, if you're going to work with them. By not holding them off. Business has a time. And time waits for no man. Why accept financial revenue if you're not going to come through with the services you promise? Why do it? What was the point of taking it? You see, everybody does a jukes. If you're going to work with someone, you give half up front and the other half once the information's complete or you arrive on the spot to record it. Guys got to learn how to be upfront. Guys got to learn how to do good business. That's the only way you elongate a business career. Now, with that out the way, and my mention on that, I want to also add this. Now, it's not only an ex-girlfriend. It's not only an ex-friend. Not only an ex-girl or ex-friend. I want to ask this. And this may hit heart pieces. Was there fake emotions being shown from any participant? You see, emotions govern everything when it comes to these scenarios. Was there someone that was adversely, let's say, we love that day, just like I got said to me? Was there someone else who loved that day? Now, that's my problem. How many, let's say this, how many career strippers could have been affiliated with the situation? Was this the norm? Were these just tag-alongs that popped up and did different things? Was there a stripper that was jilted because that's all they were seen as and they weren't made the main thing? Was there someone that held a grudge? This is very important because this is going to dictate exactly where everything fits, whether you realize it or not. You see, the one thing I do realize is that when it comes to this lifestyle, there are a lot of times rappers will use women. I don't know if they allegedly abuse, but they'll use women and then a friend comes along and they want the friend. This has happened many times, whether you realize it or not, even before it's in the game. So could this have been another potential situation where someone said, well, that ain't going to happen to me, and got revenge in some sort of way? We're all thinking. This is critical thinking time. Where does the game start and where do they end? What are the situations we're looking at and what are the situations we can discard? Because in this investigation, many things were discarded up front. Many testimonies were stepped over up front. Many of the witnesses on the witness list I've seen, I do not know to be people that spoke openly about it. Not at all. So what about the people that spoke openly about it? What do you do about that? Is there any time an investigation looking into what someone claimed on social media as having knowledge of the situation, knowing everything, when has it been taken into importance? That's my problem. What's going on with the ex-friend and the ex-best friend, the ex-girlfriend, whatever you want to say, ex-bang buddy, whatever you want to say? When did any of this get looked at? And why is it that it took someone to speak up for certain things to happen a certain way? That's what I don't get. Why not do the investigation right up front? As we look deeper into this, you're going to see a lot of synonymous factors of different occurrences behind the scene that match up with a lot of different things you never knew. And you're going to get a taste and a dose of that from my next production. I just wanted to ask, what's up with the ex-best friend and the ex-girl that was around? Could this ex-girl have influenced a man to make certain decisions because of promises or seduction in some way? Very curious. I'm very curious. We've seen it a lot. So we can't say that this situation couldn't have it. Everything's up for play. The objective, hard-hitting perspective. And you know how I rock. Always. All rights reserved.